This is the Business Owners IT Podcast with Anthony Garish and Ryan Carter, where tomorrow's technology meets today's conversations.
Hi, I'm Tony Garish.
And I'm Ryan Carter, and this is the Business Owners IT Podcast.
A podcast where we discuss tips, tricks, and solutions for business owners involving all things tech.
All right, Tony. Well, we just finished our CIS series. This is our 30th episode. And for business owners everywhere, if you've been to a conference, if you've been to just about anything, if you turn your TV on, you're going to hear about AI, right? And there's a lot in business that AI has been doing to help and do stuff like that. So we're going to kind of do a small, 3-part series in that. You know, we just had a new administration come in and promise $500 billion to OpenAI. That's a pretty big step. Another big step is a Chinese company called what is this here? It's called DeepSeek, has come out kind of disrupting the industry with an open source model and some free models that's supposed to, maybe make some changes, things like that. So, so let's talk about what the AI means for businesses. So Tony, what are your thoughts and maybe some of the practical uses?
Yeah, so I think AI is a big subject, right? And there's a lot of stuff going on with it. But for business owners, the normal business owner, if they wanted to take advantage of AI, we could start with Copilot or ChatGPT, right? So, that's a large language model, and you can have it do things for you that'll streamline the process of creating notes or creating to-do list, or you can go back and ask it questions. I've been doing IT reviews, so we do IT business reviews with all of our customers. And when I'm done with the IT business review, I usually record it. You have to transcribe it. You record it, and then I just go back and I ask it, was there any concerns? What are my to-do list? Are there any things I could be doing better? Are there any, and can you list me a list of to-do tasks? And then it'll give me answers, and then I can use those answers to summarize the meetings with the customer that I'm doing the review with.
Yeah, and it's AI is kind of a fun thing too. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing. Like I asked the other day, I asked it to, give me 10. I like sci-fi books, so I asked for 10 space opera sci-fi books that are in the top 10 list, and it went out and found books that I've never seen before. Because if you go to the internet and look at something like a Goodreads or Amazon, their top 10 is always the same. This gave me something a little bit different and food for thought, Another one, too, is if any of you guys out there have ever cooked, just for fun, you're cooking and you look up a recipe. What's the first 3/4 of that page is all about what that food is and some type of history of the food and why they're cooking it. We don't care. I don't know why anybody cares about that part in that whole deal. Everyone just wants the ingredients and how to cook it. If you ask the ChatGPT or even Copilot, I ask those and I'm just like, hey, I need to make a fantastic lasagna. How do I do it? Boom, there's my steps, and that's how I do it, and it's done. So it's kind of cuts out that middleman a little bit for fun.
Yeah. Well, okay, and when you start searching recipes, right, and you start searching for recipes, it's all clickbait. That's what that is, right? So you get the recipe, right, and you want to get all the recipe, and you got to scroll down and go through it. Well, all those ads and all that other stuff, it's all click, right? They want you to click on it. That's how, it's ad revenue. So it's painful. I get it. Right. And you can go out to ChatGPT. Sorry, guys. My phone's on. You can go out to ChatGPT, my Ring doorbell. You can go out to ChatGPT or whatever and ask it how to make that, and it'll just scrub all that stuff and give you what you want.
Yeah, so right now you're not getting, when you're looking up a cooking recipe, you won't be getting that, the guy that yells at everybody in the kitchen his new cookware to purchase.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so, and there's a lot of uses for it, right? I've started using it a lot. Another good use case is you can it kind of learns. So you can ask it to write you a thank you letter to somebody. You could ask it to write you an offer letter to somebody. You could ask it to write you a letter of recommendation to somebody.
Yeah, I've done that before. I've asked it to help me out with I had to do a small speech, so I helped it. It did the bare bones for me. It wrote it out, and then I put my tone on it and everything I wanted to say in it. So it was really nice because it brought in some facts and some opinions that I didn't really think about when I'd done it before, because it's grabbing from everywhere on the internet.
Yeah, and so, business owners, you can adopt it. It's part of the Microsoft 365 platform. Copilot is, and basically you buy a license by the year, and then, you can either learn by yourself on some of the prompts you can ask, or you can have your IT service provider or somebody train you. Maybe down in the future we could do a video or something that says, how to, good prompts to ask.
Yeah. Things that help us through our business day as business owners and not just as IT people.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, today I used it in a kind of unique way. I'm making a offer to a potential new hire, and I asked it, hey, could you write me a paragraph that asks the new hire not to share his salary information or his offer with his previous company? And it did a beautiful job, and it made it concise and small, but to the point.
Yeah, actually, employee reviews is a good one, too. Mm-hmm. I like to take a bullet point list of the things I want to talk about, the good and the bad. We all, want to talk to our employees about what's going on and, what's going to go on in the future. And I put it inside of that prompt, and it spits out a really nice, clean review that I'll go through. I'll read it. I'm not just going to copy and paste it. I'll read it and make sure it is exactly what we want to talk about. But it does a lot better than the 5 hours I'm going to spend trying to type it.
Right. And, sometimes I ask it to write me a couple paragraphs. Sometimes I ask it to write me a brief paragraph. Sometimes I ask it to write me an email. Other times I've asked it to write me a review for like Google. Sometimes I review our vendors. And you could tell it to make a positive review or a negative review. It's pretty powerful. And all it's doing is just making it faster, right? You're basically starting out with a small paragraph that then you can adopt to meet your needs.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you feed it, and it's going to make it faster for what you're trying to do. And again, you just make it fit your needs. And that kind of leads me into what our tip of the week would be for this one. And that's just going to be, if you're going to look into doing AI, start small. Just go to like ChatGPT or Copilot. Those are the two biggest. There's Gemini with Google and a few other ones. But start with those and just feed some prompts into it. Even Google, even ChatGPT. What are some good ChatGPT prompts? Just something like that, and then just learn some of the fun things that you can actually do with it. Things you're doing in your daily life. Like how do I trim my bushes better or something like that. It's going to give you those prompts and just learn a little bit from it. So that's where I'm at.
I mean, it's powerful, right? It's very powerful, and GPT, I always get it mixed up here. It's, you can get a free account. I have a free account. I'm not paying for it. If I want to get the latest and greatest, I've often thought about paying for it. I am paying for Copilot, but the Copilot, the nice thing about Copilot is that it's integrated into your Microsoft Word, into your email, into your Microsoft Teams, that whole suite of things you use. And it's very powerful.
Yeah. Oh, it is. And it's kind of fun too, right? Because I could put in a Google search right now and watch Winston Churchill play basketball.
Right.
So it's just some fun things that you could do with it. So
that's the other side. The time wasted trying to see what it can actually do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yep, exactly.
What else is there? I mean, not really much. I mean, that's the simplest way to use it. It's very, very powerful in other ways. It can be used also for a global search. A global search engine of all your Microsoft stuff. So, if I wanted to find all my emails and my documents and in my OneDrive and my Teams and everything, if I asked it, hey, find me all the communications with Ryan Carter about this work ticket, and give it to it, it'll find it.
Yeah, well,
it'll spit it all out.
Yep, give you a nice overview.
Are we I think we'll have another session where we talk about security, right?
Yep, we got 2 more coming up.
Yeah,
yep.
So we're going to do 2 more sessions. So I think the basic thing that we're leading here is that, it's everywhere. You should try to adopt it. And, if you need help, obviously Unique Computing Solutions, we're IT consultants. We're willing to help you. If you're our customers, we're willing to help you. Every IT review, I talk to them about it. Some are interested, some are not interested. They just say that I don't need it, or, we have it, but I'm not using it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
Price will go down too. There's a price to entry right now. That's for sure.
All right. Well, I don't really have any more for this, right?
Oh, go ahead, Tom.
All right. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Business Owners IT podcast, and we hope to see you in the next episode.
Yeah. See you next week where we talk a little bit more about AI and kind of go more into what it does for your business. We'll probably talk a little bit more about Copilot since that's what we use. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Unique Computing Solutions. Your IT challenges solved.